Hello, welcome to this very special edition of the MarcoLooks Drawalong. As you know, normally in a Drawalong we are creating a new character to join an animated movie. However, this time as a bonus for May, I am going to be showing you how to draw Ariel from the Little Mermaid. Like I said, this is a bonus Drawalong. There is another one that will be coming that we will be drawing a brand new character to join the Little Mermaid. But I thought it'd be fun to show you how to draw Ariel. And we're going to be focusing on Ariel's face, and I'm going to be drawing it using a technique from the traditional Disney animators by using two different colours and a liner, a black liner. So I'm going to be starting roughing out the sketch in red, and then I'm going to be refining the stick sketch again using blue, and then once we have the final design image, I am going to be doing the fine line, what's sometimes referred to as the cleanup, using a Posca pen, which is like paint in a pen, which is really cool. So, like I said, the way that I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to be guiding you through some basic shapes to draw to help map out where the lines are going to go, so we can start creating the face, and then we're going to go from there and keep building and building and building. So draw along with me. Use whatever colours you like. If you want to be a traditionalist about it, we will start off with red, and then we'll use a blue, and then we'll clean up with black. Okay, so let's get going. First of all, I want us to draw a circle. So draw a nice simple circle, and on the circle we're going to draw two curved lines going from top to bottom, and then another one like this, because this is going to be the area where the eyes are going to sit and the nose is going to be in this little area here, and so we need to extend further down to make a chin. So this distance, let's take that again, same distance to about here, and then we're just going to connect the circle using a couple of lines, something like this. So it's almost like we have created like a cup that the ball is sitting on. The bottom of the chin is going to be here, just so you can see where we're going. And this is the jawline here, or will be the jawline. So we have an ear up here, so we're just going to pop in just a circle, just now, so we can just see where we're going. And let's pop in some eyes. Now for the eyes, we can put in another guideline up here, kind of probably a little bit bigger than this gap here, just so we know how high we're going to be drawing our eyes. And we're just going to draw arches, simple arch shapes that start at this line we created here, meet the line up there, and then just come back down again. And the gap in between the two is slightly bigger than the gap you've already created here. The gap, the size of the eye. So we have that distance. Let's pop the other one here and head up towards this line, and then back down, and we're going to fill in the eye shape. Okay, let's look at the pupils and the irises. So what we are going to be drawing is more full circles in this arch shape. What's very tempting for a lot of people to do when they are drawing eyes is to draw maybe like a crescent shape or like a half moon. But one of the most fundamental things with an eye is that the iris and the pupil are completely round. So we're going to draw some circles in here, and it doesn't matter if you go outside of the arch shape, because the most important thing is the circular shape of the iris. So let's just start popping in some circles here and over here. It just gives the eye that fullness that it needs, and another circle just in the middle, and that will be the pupil. Okay, so the nose is actually going to come off this eye line that we've created. So we're going to bring this down, and then just above the bottom of the circle here, this is where the nose is going to finish. And so we want the nose to come out almost like a curved point. So not quite a complete triangle, not quite a complete curve. And then over here, we're going to draw the nostril. For the nostril, we're just going to draw another small curved line. And then for the inside of the nostril, we're going to be using this shape here. So I've drawn two little curved lines that come off in relation to the curve. Okay, now Ariel's mouth. Now, we need to pop in some other guidelines of how wide to draw the mouth. And a simple rule of thumb is that the corners of the mouth match up where the pupils are. And so we want the corners of the mouth to be somewhere here and somewhere over here. Okay. So she is smiling, but the way her lips are shaped is almost like a wave, if you pardon the pun, with the waves in the sea. So it's just a very simple curve doing this, like an S shape. So let's pop that in. We're going to have the peak of the S shape just under her nose here. And just another line underneath to fill out the top lip. And the bottom lip is going to start its peak around here. And her mouth is open and she has her teeth. So I'm just drawing a line beneath the lips, and we can see her tongue as well. Okay. So now let's look at her eyebrows. Her eyebrows are set quite high up, I suppose. Now, let's pop another little S shape in for her ear, inside of the ear here. Okay, now the most iconic feature of Ariel is her hair, and her sweeping fringe is probably the one thing that most animators talk about when they refer to Ariel. So let's pop in her fringe, and we're doing a lot of curves and a lot of S shapes. So we're going to start just above the eyebrow here, but over here, and we're going to pop in an S shape. It goes over her forehead and goes behind her head here. And then the top of the fringe, it's going to be there, that's going to come down like that. Kind of the basic shape of Ariel's fringe. And then in the picture, there's more hair that comes off here, kind of actually in line with her nose. I'm just going to put those in just with guides with the red, so we can come back to those when we're working on top with another colour for our blue. Now we're going to put in the rest of her hair. Now this is her skull. Her hair has loads of volume, so the hair would kind of start around here. It's very tempting, I think, to draw the hair as if it's coming off the skull, but it won't be because of the volume. So it'll be coming up kind of about here. Okay, now let's pop in her shoulders. And her neck. The back of her neck is kind of hidden actually by her hair in the reference picture I'm using. So we'll just pop in the neck there, and then the rest of her shoulder here. And there's her arm, and her armpit kind of comes like that. Okay, so this is a very rough guideline of Ariel. Now let's move on to the next colour. We're going to be going over our work again, but this time using the darker colour to try and refine the shapes that we've created and to make Ariel come out of the image. Right, I'm going to start over here by the eye because I'm going to change the face shape to give her some cheeks. So we're just going to come out like this and loosely follow the line that we've got here going with the nose. And then down to the chin. And over here we have the ear, and I'm going to make this line just a little bit smoother. Her jawline is quite sharp in the one that I've drawn, but we see here, the jawline is actually quite smooth. So let's make this line smoother. And it's going to go over the lines that we've drawn already. She has a glint in her eye, so I'm just going to draw that in with the blue. And move on to the iris. And she has quite a heavy line on the top of her eye where like her eyelashes would be, and she has some eyelashes that go off, so let's add those in here. And her head is going to be coming down to the corner that we created there with the corner of the cheek. Pop in her nose. She has quite a small nose, does Ariel. And those lines are all you really need to create the nose shape. I think it can be quite tempting for people to kind of really draw in the nostrils, but quite often with faces on like a cartoon character, less can be more. Top tip. Now her top lip kind of comes out a bit, and then the side of the mouth over here comes in, so the corner of the lips here doesn't actually meet. If you look here on this image, I don't know if you can see, but the corner of the lips kind of continue on, and that's just the kind of the 3/4 image pose of the image. That's why it kind of gives that illusion. Let's go on to the ear. And now let's get in the hair. Just going to change that shape a little bit. So let's carry on to the neck and the shoulders. And there we have our Ariel. So I'm just going to go over it now with a cleanup. Just spotting some differences straight away from the reference image. This area here, the hair is a lot closer to the eye. Ooh, the hair is a lot closer to the eye, whereas I've kind of created a little bit more space. And the angle of the head isn't quite right either. Her head is kind of angled that way more, whereas mine is angled that way a little bit more. But that's okay. Okay, on to cleanup. Like I said, I'm using a Posco pen. Sometimes, depending on what paper you're using, Posco pens can be quite scratchy and can often kind of flick ink across your image. So let's just see what happens here. So just one thing I'm noticing as well, we did arches for the eyes, but the eyes are actually more like very curved triangles. So I'm going to try and, when I'm doing my cleanup, make that shape a little bit more by starting with the top of the eyelid and curving down here. I'm going to come across just like that a little bit more. So it's very subtle, but I've just changed to have less of a kind of perfect arch and more of a kind of triangle that's been inflated somehow. Oh dear, my little very good cleanup. So just lining in the hair. And you probably saw just then, that is exactly what I mean by the pen can sometimes spray ink across. It's just done that a little bit there, but that's okay. With the hair, let's go wild. Put in as many curves as you want, just to give it that underwater flowing volume. I was going to finish colouring the pupil. I did it in a couple of stages colouring the pupil because the paper was getting very wet from the paint from the pen, and so I didn't want too much wetness on the paper to potentially make the paper rip. And there we have it. There we have our Ariel. Now, if I was going to take it further, I could potentially rub out all the other the colours that I've used, the red and the blue. I actually find it quite charming like this. I quite like it. And then we could paint on top and add colour in. Or if you're so inclined, you could turn it into a digital image and add digital colour on top as well. Looking at this, I think the hair could be bigger and more voluminous. So that's another thing that I'd add in. I'll probably add in these curves. But there we have Ariel. So this is from our reference image. We have broken the image down into some simple shapes, put in some guidelines, and brought out Ariel from within those shapes. So she started off as a bunch of red lines. We refined the lines with blue, and then we found Ariel by using the cleanup pen to really make her come alive. And do you know what? Just one fine detail. I'm going to give her her blue eyes. I'm going to just colour in because she has lovely blue eyes. There we go. So there we have Ariel. Now, look out for the official draw along that we're coming very, very, very soon. We are going to be creating a friend for Ariel, maybe another sister. Haven't quite decided. I'll work that out over the next hour. But for now, enjoy drawing Ariel, and I'd love to see the drawings you create. So post them on your social media, tag me at MarcoLooks, pop them as a comment on this post, and pop them in the Discord channel as well, so we can all share and we can all have a look. Basically, put your picture everywhere. Put it everywhere, and let's celebrate our drawing. Likewise, if you have any questions, just pop them on this video in the description below, and I will do my best to help you and to give you a satisfying drawing experience, because that's what it's all about being creative and drawing and just having a lovely creative drawing time. So I'll see you very soon for May's proper draw along. I hope you enjoyed the bonus video. I'll see you soon. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.